Excuse me, it turns out that power also doesn't guarantee a person is happy. Moreover, what else makes women jealous of their friends? Usually, when they see a friend who is prettier, eyebrows thicker, eyes brighter, and face glowing, right? That, excuse me, sometimes makes us feel jealous. If I could be that pretty, I would be happy too. My question is it true that being beautiful guarantees happiness? Turns out, no. Everyone has their own destiny. If I often preach to the karaoke ladies, it turns out, pretty ladies are not a guarantee of being popular. Sometimes those who aren't as pretty or have buck teeth are actually more popular, while the pretty ones don't get much business. What's the factor behind it? The factor is that people prefer the ones who aren't as pretty because they are usually cheaper. Well, cheaper and popular is better than expensive and not popular, right? It turns out that beauty also doesn't guarantee happiness. What's the proof? There was a beautiful artist from America named Marilyn Monroe. A very beautiful artist. But, she eventually committed suicide. Why did she commit suicide? Her illness was, depression. Eventually overdosing on alcohol. As an escape, getting drunk because of stress, and finally, I really ask you not to get stressed out, thinking about anything, just take it slow. Isn't that right? Yes, because diversity is the key. Just enjoy the diversity. Live life with peace of mind. Isn't that right? If you have it, go through it. If you don't, be grateful. Isn't that right? That's why I have a principle. Love the life you live. Live the life you love. So those of you who feel beautiful, be grateful to God. Whatever I look like, Lord, the fact is, even though I'm not pretty, my husband wants me. I can even get pregnant. Isn't that right? It's better to be plain but fertile than beautiful but unable to conceive. Sometimes even those with buck teeth, just need to be intimate and they'll get pregnant right away. It makes sense, Mill. It's okay if you're not handsome. Handsome guys like to follow trends, wearing black contact lenses. Oh my, they end up looking like welders. Right? Thank God we always try to maintain our health. Is it certain that healthy people are happier than sick people? The answer is no. What's the proof? There was a famous doctor named Thierry Costa from France. He had a TV show but ended up committing suicide because of his show, even though he was a doctor. That's why I keep saying that doctors cannot guarantee that we will be healthy. If doctors could truly guarantee health, doctors should be the healthiest people. But in reality, many doctors get sick too. I even have a friend who is an ENT specialist, ear, nose, and throat, and he's actually hard of hearing. Who can guarantee anything? It turns out, ladies and gentlemen, whether a person is happy or not, is not determined by how rich they are. It is not determined by how viral they are. It is not determined by how beautiful or handsome they are, or how powerful they are. It is not determined by how healthy or how successful their life is. The fact is, rich people's lives are actually heavily regulated by doctors. Isn't that right, ladies? They are forbidden from eating everything. Even though before they had money, they could eat anything, but they couldn't afford it because they didn't have money. So people's enjoyment differs from one another. Some are given the blessing of being rich with lots of wealth, but the sense of enjoyment is taken away. So everything they taste just doesn't taste good. Meanwhile, those who are poor, who have no money, are given a sense of enjoyment by God in their mouths and on their tongues. They don't have money, but everything they eat tastes delicious. Now let me ask you which one to choose. Having lots of money, but everything you eat tastes bland, or having no money. Or very little money, but everything you eat tastes delicious. Which one would you choose?
Choose the one where you have money and eat well. Who asked? The proof is that poor people eat whatever and it tastes delicious. This. That's why their stomachs are big. Having leftovers and friends' snacks. Peace be upon you and God's mercy and blessings. And peace be upon you and God's mercy and blessings.
Praise be to God who speaks. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. It is He who made the earth subservient to you, so walk in its paths and eat of His provision, and to Him is resurrection. O God, send blessings, peace, and abundance upon this noble prophet, our master and leader, Muhammad, and upon his family and his pure struggling companions. My Lord, expand from me my chest, ease from me my task, and untie the knot from my tongue, that they may understand my speech. And afterwards, respected attendees, the scholars, the key clerics, religious leaders, and community figures whom I honor. Officials who have kindly attended at all levels, whom I respect. The entire organizing committee for the recitation in the framework of the Religious Tourism Festival. Paul Sebawi View.
Polyandry.
Kali Angkop. Kali Yakub. Benner. Periwodio. Ladies and gentlemen, residents of Kali Yakub. Perwoikyo, whom I love. Praise be to God. This afternoon I was able to visit. And praise be to God, I was able to visit accompanied by my wife. I rarely lecture while accompanied by my wife. Why is she accompanied today? I haven't been home for 12 days. I just arrived at the boarding school at dawn. Then at 10 a.m. I left again, so I haven't had time to be with my wife at home. Then my wife came along. Praise be to God. That is why it is true that human life is all about perspective. You look at me and I seem happier than you while I look at you. And you seem happier than me. Praise be to God.
When I see you, your lives seem very peaceful. Sitting on the hillside for a recitation. It's like watching a street performance. So, I have a belief, ladies and gentlemen, that happiness is not based on anything. For example, there are people who say the requirement for being happy is that you must be rich. My question is being rich a guarantee of happiness? The answer is no. Many rich people, in reality, are not happy in their hearts. Example. A rich man from Germany named Ada, maker, the richest man in Germany at that time. It turns out he wasn't happy either. What's the proof? This adoption maker committed suicide by jumping in front of a train. What was the problem? Wealthy but stressed. Because wealth cannot create happiness. Why do you think I look happy? Well, GUS MIFTAH must be happy because he's rich, handsome, viral, and his Proboa is cleric. Here's the question. You just arrived and were already served drinks. There's coffee, water, grape juice, orange juice, and longan. Wow, there's even a longan root here. How can a head have roots? Yet you who arrived earlier haven't been served? Oh, I have. Oh, it's finished. Already? Are you greedy? The question is, are famous people always happy? There is an answer. If fame could make one happy, happy. Back then, there was the most famous artist in the world. Who was it? Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was the most famous artist from America. But excuse me, do you know what illness Michael Jackson had? He couldn't sleep, so he had to take sleeping pills every night. Meanwhile, people here, excuse me, don't need pills to sleep. Sometimes they even sleep while listening to a sermon. I don't dare to wake someone up who is sleeping during a sermon, because God's saints can sometimes be eccentric. Some saints love to give charity. Some saints love to travel. Sometimes God's saints just like to sleep. So if someone is sleeping at a sermon now, don't wake them up. They might just be a saint of God. Michael Jackson was a very famous person, but it turns out his fame didn't guarantee him happiness. He couldn't even sleep. Do you think you sleep soundly, ma'am? Soundly, even though you have many debts. Right or wrong?
Right.
But in reality, you can sleep even at a sermon. You sit there leaning against a fence and suddenly doze off. You can do that. Again. Yeah. Do you think being an official like these gentlemen makes one happy?
Happy? Not necessarily. Don't think that just because you wear uniform or have a rank, you're happy. Look at that military officer. He looks like he's smiling, but his debt at the bank. What about the police, Gus? Yes, well, hopefully.
Even worse. Having power doesn't necessarily make one happy. For example, if power could make people happy, there was a president in Brazil named Vargas. It turns out the president of Brazil was not happy. How did he die? He shot himself in the heart. I thought, as I walked down this road, am I going to a sermon or fishing? My life. Forgive me. Powerful people. Excuse me. Imagine yourself having power. Your life is regulated by protocols. Everything is governed by strict rules, right? It turns out power doesn't guarantee a person is happy either. There was another businessman who came to me and said, Gus, why don't you run for governor of Lampung? Gus Miftah was born in Lampung, so why not run? They offered to fund me, saying I didn't need to bring anything, just go and become the governor in Lampung. I answered, no, I don't desire any positions that would actually reduce my preaching schedule. It's better for me not to hold any position. Because, if I may, I love seeing you all sit comfortably at my sermons, even if you're sitting on gravel right at the front, stretching out your heels. Oh my God. Do you really think your heels are that smooth? You're already old and cracked, yet so confident, covering them with an umbrella. Forget it, I just imagine what it's like to be an official, sir. Without being an official like this, I rarely even get to see my wife and children. I was just away for 12 days. I left Grobogan last Thursday, then Grobogan, Marion, Magatan, Ganjuk, Kediri, Sidoarjo, Pasuruan, headed to Banjarmasin, Barito, Kuala, back to Surabaya. The next day, off to Bali, back to Jakarta, to Lampung, back to Jakarta, and last night to Trenggalek. I just arrived in Yogyakarta at dawn. Couldn't even sleep before the dawn call to prayer. So I feel like that, you see? That's why my wife comes along, because why? I'll be preaching twice in Purworejo later. Later at a certain time, I'll take the train to Bandung. Tomorrow morning, I'll inaugurate a mosque in Bandung with the Police Inspector General Ahmad Dofiri. Even though in the afternoon I must return to Yogyakarta, because tomorrow night I have a prayer event at Pondok L, and the next day I'm off to Merauke, Irian Jaya. Do you know how many hours the flight to Irian Jaya is? From Jakarta to Merauke is 7 hours inside the plane, almost like someone going on Umrah. Back for 2 days, and I'm straight off to London, England to preach for the Muslim women's group there. The Banser guys coming or not? God willing. You don't need to come to London, God willing, you'll join in heaven. Because the Banser's job is to survey the location. So before the Kiai enters heaven, the heaven is surveyed by Banser. Once heaven is ready, they send the location to the Kiai. The Kiai enters and the Banser comes back out. Goes back out again. Why? To pick up the village head who stopped by hell. Where's the village head? Did he come or not? Oh, this is the village head. Oh my God. Oh my God. The police officer's so handsome, the soldier's so handsome, the village head is old. Even his mustache is completely white. So if I may, it turns out that power also doesn't guarantee a person is happy. What else makes women envious of their friends? Usually it's seeing a friend who is prettier, has thicker eyebrows, big, bright eyes, and glowing skin, right? That, if I may, sometimes we get jealous. If I could be that pretty, I'd be happy too. My question is it true that being beautiful guarantees happiness? It turns out no. People have their own individual destiny. You know? I'm used to preaching to the ladies at the karaoke bars. It turns out, if I may say, beautiful ladies aren't guaranteed to be popular. Sometimes the ones who aren't as good looking with crooked teeth are more popular, while the pretty ones aren't. What turns out to be the factor? The reason people prefer someone ugly or buck-toothed is usually because they are cheaper. Well, it's better to be cheap and popular than expensive and unpopular. It turns out that beauty does not guarantee happiness. What is the proof? There was a beautiful actress from America named Marilyn Monroe. A very beautiful actress. But, excuse me, She ended up committing suicide. Why did Marilyn Monroe commit suicide? Her illness was, excuse me, depression, and she eventually overdosed on alcohol. She turned to substance abuse because of stress. So I truly ask you not to get stressed thinking about anything. Just take it slow, right? Yes, because diversity is the key. Just enjoy the diversity. Just keep life peaceful. Is that right or not? If you have something, use it. If you don't, be grateful. Is that right or not? That's why I have a principle. Love the life you live. Live the life you love. So for those of you who feel beautiful, you should be thankful to God just the way you are. The fact is, even though I'm not marketable, my wife still wants me. My wife is even pregnant, right? It's better to be ugly and get pregnant than to be beautiful and unable to get pregnant. Sometimes even the buck-toothed ones get pregnant right after being with their husbands. It makes sense. This makes sense, Mill. It's okay if you aren't handsome. Handsome people try to be stylish wearing black masks, but they end up looking like welders. Right? Alhamdulillah, we should always maintain our health. Is it certain that healthy people are happier than sick people? The answer is no. What is the proof? There was a famous doctor named Thierry Costa from France. Excuse me, he had a TV show, but ended up committing suicide because of the show, even though he was a doctor. That's why I keep saying, a doctor cannot guarantee their own health. If a doctor could guarantee health, doctors should be the healthiest people. But in reality, many doctors are sick. I even have a friend who is an ENT specialist, ear, nose, and throat. And the guy is actually deaf. Who can guarantee? What is this? An ENT doctor who is deaf.
Why does it annoy me that you look so happy, even though your envelope is unclear? Relax, I'll add more. Just relax. Oh, you want a bonus? I'll give it to you since I'm an AKBP. Hey, I'm Mr. Provo's cleric. No need to shout about choosing Ganjar.
Now, there is no 01, 02, or 03. There is only the unity of Indonesia. Now, the conclusion is this. Why is there a tourist spot here? I might explain it later. Slowly, Mr. Village Head, be patient. Mr. Village Head, drink your coffee first. Mr. Village Head. Oh my God, there are guests here, but my wife didn't provide any refreshments. The committee is really stingy.
Blessings upon the Prophet Muhammad. Now it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, I am speaking so that everyone here is happy, right? Is being up there really happy?
Wow, how do you even respond to that? Old and toothless. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, whether a person is happy or not is, forgive me, not determined by how wealthy they are, not determined by how viral they are, not determined by how beautiful or handsome they are, or how powerful they are. It is not determined by how healthy or how successful their life is. Because the reality is, forgive me, rich people have their lives regulated by doctors. Isn't that right, ma'am? They are forbidden from eating everything. Even though before they had money, they could eat anything, but they couldn't afford it because they had no money. So the joys of life are different for everyone, ma'am. One person is given the blessing of wealth, having many possessions, but the feeling of enjoyment is taken away. So everything they taste feels unpleasant. Meanwhile, poor people, forgive me, who have no money, are given a sense of enjoyment by God on their lips, their tongues, and their mouths. They don't have money, but everything they eat tastes delicious. Come on, let me ask you, which one would you choose? Having lots of money, but being unable to taste your food, or having no money or just a little, but everything you eat tastes delicious. Which one would you choose?
Hey, pick having money and eating well? Who's asking? The proof is that people with money who eat well are like this. That's why their bellies are big. If there's a gift box, they don't even share their friends' snacks.
For me, sir, I work to live a healthy life no matter how tired I am. I still find time to hit the gym, and when I return to the hotel, I still work out because I imagine it like this. I want to be healthy and fit when I retire, still able to enjoy every meal I eat. And here's the principle of eating. I'm telling you this so you stay healthy. My physique might not be as good as the police officers or the local commanders, but my stamina is better because I work out diligently. The secret to staying healthy is that food that tastes good in the mouth is usually not good for the body. For example, wheat coffee tastes good in the mouth, but turns out it's not good for the body. Bitter coffee doesn't taste good in the mouth, but is good for the body. It's good for the heart. So sometimes food that is too delicious is actually not good for your body. Is chicken offal delicious or not? It's not delicious. But it turns out it's not good for your health either. That's why I rarely consume offal. Offal is not good, especially intestines. They aren't good. You love eating intestines. That's why medicine everywhere tastes bitter. But it turns out even though medicine is bitter, it heals. Heals. Right. Isn't that right, man? So remember that even bitter medicine can heal. How could your sweet smile be painful? Coming down now. Now the conclusion is this. What does this have to do with the tourist site? I'll try to find a verse on why the local government built this tourist site. There must be a mention of it in the Quran. I'll look for a verse, and if it doesn't quite fit, I'll make it fit. I was invited here to support religious tourism for the pule trees, right? So where are the pule trees? They were just planted. They're still tiny. The pule is that tree, isn't it, sir? So where's the tree? I asked where the tree is and the person just stood there. How can it be just a tiny sprout? It must be a new one looking so small. This world is not doing so well right now. There are even songs that stir up lust. What else? What was that song about? Whose love?
Oh, it's rotten. It's about someone else's spouse.
So ladies and gentlemen, what is it that makes us happy? What makes you happy is yourself. So never compare our lives to the lives of others. Don't compare our economy to other people's economy. Don't compare your position to other people's position. Maybe the Banser members are thinking, wow, the police and soldiers must have much easier lives than me. What is the proof? Police and soldiers have salaries and allowances. Banser members have no salary, no allowances.
Isn't that right, son?
Are the police necessarily happy? Not necessarily. I know everyone from corporals to generals, from police chiefs to the national police chief. It's not certain that police are happier than Banser members. It turns out that sometimes Banser members have a more peaceful life. Look at how fat the Banser members are. Oh my God, look. Happy? They eat anything until their bellies look like dams. Look at that. Subhanallah. What is his name?
Waloyo.
He looks like he's swallowing a pumpkin. That's not it, son. The position of the military district commander isn't necessarily better. Oh, now I ask, who is greater? Banser or the police? Soldiers, Banser? The fact is, the appointment letters of the police and soldiers are all at the bank. Well, no, Banser appointment letters are at the bank. It's not because they don't want to borrow money, it's just that they're not accepted, let me tell you.
Relax, Banser, I'll give you money to buy cigarettes.
I'm sure the committee's cigarettes are limited because the tourism site isn't profitable yet. But God willing, it will be. May the village's original revenue increase. The village head can buy a razor to shave his mustache. The village head is strong enough to shave his mustache. People, even though the sunnah for a mustache is to be trimmed, is the sunnah for a mustache to be kept or trimmed? Trimmed. Al-khamsatu min al-fitra. There are 5 fitra nationalizations. First, circumcision. Second, cutting nails. My nails are a bit long because I haven't been home in a while. Cutting nails is a sunnah. Cutting nails is sunnah. Number 3, trimming the mustache is fitrah. Number 4, plucking underarm hair. So if your wife comes home from work and is snoring, pluck her armpit hair. It's the Prophet's sunnah, Aisha. Just kidding with your wife. The 5th one is shaving pubic hair. That is fitrah. That is fitrah. But remember, Mr. Village Head, shave it yourself. The village head went to a salon instead. Mr. Village Head, what are you doing? Shaving what? You even got a rebonding treatment.
Dyeing it. Your eyes. Dyeing it like this. Just because he's a police officer, he dyes it red, green, and yellow like a traffic light. Shalawat on the Prophet Muhammad.
So don't compare our economy to others because, pardon me, وَمِن دَعَبَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا. Everything has already been measured and cannot be swapped. Everything has its own portion. If I were destined to have a lot of wealth, it would be because I have many responsibilities. I have hundreds of students and all of them are free. None pay a cent. I hold monthly recitations where thousands attend and they all eat for free. I give charity everywhere. I am currently building a mosque in Lampung. Please pray for my ambition to build 1 mosque every year. So there's a place for prayer and worship. The land is already owned, but there is no mosque yet. So I have a target to build 1 mosque a year.
You should say amen to that, you know. You're just staring blankly.
Everything is measured by its own standards. Suppose a policeman's name is SP Sumarjano. Oh, Sumarno. Suppose he became a very rich policeman today. He wouldn't want to sit there. He'd definitely be hanging out at the mall. He wouldn't be friends with the village head. He'd be hanging out with whom? With Julia Perez. Wait, she passed away, I forgot. Wow, you even know about Ayobi. How do you know Ayobi? Oh, TikTok. You're a victim of TikTok, kid. It's not appropriate, don't follow Pargoy dance. A fat Banser doing Pargoy. Who is it? Woloyo. Alright, give him some money first. Come here, Woloyo. Come here, Wolo. Represent. There. Gus? You ungrateful mouth. I already gave you a lot and you're asking for more. And now my stage is tilting to the right.
Yes, Gus. Oh, Walayo. Ready, Gus? Yes. Masbaloyo, how old are you? 34.
It seems like you're the one who's reversed. Your mouth is reversed, not 43. Just give him money. How many years have you been a bancer, Maswaloyo?
7 years. 7 years. Why do you want to be a bancer? I want to serve the scholars.
Wow. Serving the scholars. Actually, there was someone yesterday in East Java. Why do you want to be a bancer? What do you mean, Elder? I applied for the army but didn't get in. I asked, why didn't you get in? When I applied, my teeth were bad. I thought to myself, what is wrong with the army committee? A person is physically fit, but they are rejected just because of bad teeth. I ended up scolding the committee. Hey, Mr. Army, why didn't you accept him into the army? Well, his teeth were bad, Gus. I immediately told him. Hey, let me tell you, soldier. Soldiers will have to fight tomorrow. Where's about shooting, not biting each other? I said that to him. Mashallah. Are you still strong enough to run? Maswaloyo.
Very strong. Look at your face. Strong, strong, strong. I usually run between islands, Gus. Oh, between islands.
Oh, yes. Running away from reality.
Maswaloyo, what is your job? I am a tourist bus driver. Oh, bus driver. My goodness, this guy stops everywhere. Oh, yes, definitely. At the food stalls, Gus?
Yes, at the food stalls. When you see a beautiful person on the street, do you remember your wife at home or not?
Of course I remember. Oh, your face says otherwise.
You guys are really cheeky. If you see a small child on the street, you remember your kid at home. But seeing a beautiful person on the street, you forget your wife at home. Yeah.
Yes.
The face.
Mashallah. Your permanent job is a driver, but you serve as a benzer.
Are you happy, Mass? Very happy. That's why you're fat, Gus. People who aren't happy are thin, Gus. So you're mocking those who are thin as unhappy, including Tamar here? Maybe so.
Don't be so fat, you're only fat because you eat too much at the food stall. Because if a person has a big belly, usually their bird is small. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Let's reveal it, come on. Check it. But if someone like Tamar has a small body, hopefully the bird is still small.
I prepared money to buy fancy cigarettes. Liquid, liquid, yes. Liquid. Okay, gas, Gus, yes. 1 million. Yes, ready. Just the fat ones, okay. That's to buy and share with friends. Thank you very much, Gus. Yes. I'll give you extra for yourself. Ready, sir. Thank you. Yes. May I step down, Gus?
Because he's so fat, his fingers look like thumbs. The Hadra boys are waiting there.
Not recite what good one? Missing
Who?
What's a good song? Wait, do you know Narek? There's a song called Narek, you idiot. Hey, Blue Shawl. Is that the lineage of the prophet? You guys are the vocalists, but you're not convincing at all. Oh my God. The vocalist is so fat, he's like Waloyo's younger brother.
What is your name, Gus?
Razika.
Reza, your name is good, but your face is not as good as your name. Come on, Reza, sing for the prophet. Shira'ala. Nabi Muhammad. Ra'a. 1, 2. 6, 1 million. Every time I attend a lecture, you just keep asking for money?
How many people? Just 500,000 is enough. And 1 million. What was that earlier you were given money? Are you going to keep it in a piggy bank or a savings account?
It's different. How can you say it's the same? It is different. If you're given money, save it in a bank, not a piggy bank. What's the proof? The proof is our test tube babies, not piggy bank babies. $1 million, you didn't. Oh, with a face like this, you're still popular, huh? MashaAllah. How many kids do you have, Matt? 1. Hopefully when you get home, your wife gets pregnant again.
Twins, 15 of them.
Anyway, who are you married to? Not married yet, just an ordinary guy, sir. But just relax. Your romance might end, but your career must be clear. Remember, a clear career will attract quality love.
Go home and get married, inshallah. The widow with 15 kids. The widow is over there.
Talking about over there. You're saying you're gonna get her pregnant. Now like this. Turns out we don't need to look for happiness. It's actually like this. Just stretch your legs out like this. Star fruit, banana. Face glowing, but feet are patchy. Star fruit on a raft. Face glowing, but heels are cracked. It doesn't matter, even with cracked heels, paradise is still beneath them, yes. That's why my child is smart enough to buy Vaseline for his mother. Why would he go to heaven? Just to break it, let it be. Well, it turns out we need to create our own happiness. That is why it is right for the village head and his officials here to build this tourist site. There is a verse, look here, Mr. Village Head. Ladies and gentlemen, it is in Surah Al-Mulk, verse 15. It turns out there is a command for traveling. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. It is He who made the earth subservient to you, so walk upon its slopes. What is being opened here? What box? Is that going back and forth over there? If the committee wants to collect donations, just say so. I will find the money. Don't hide like a thief like that. Just say, sir, this is a donation box so I know to contribute. Because you're hiding it, I don't need to contribute if that's how you want it. So don't bring the donation box here. Shaking hands while hiding things, son. Do you know why a thief is called a thief? Mailing stands for Manusi Dibalik Aling Aling, a person behind the screen / conceal. Because they hide, not doing it openly. So if there is a donation box being hidden, it means the class is like...
That means the committee.
Watch your mouth, don't make them out to be thieves.
That village head is donating. Oh my god, the village head is giving red bills.
The red one, right, Mr. Village Head? That is important. You are rude. The 100,000 bill is being zoomed in on here. Make a good picture, son. Zoom in, son. Al-Mulk, verse 15. وَالَّذِي جَعَلَ لَكُمُ الْأَرْضَ أَرْضًا. Allah is the one who made the earth. جَعَلَ لَكُمُ الْأَرْضَ. It is Allah who made the earth easy for you. The one who created the heavens and the earth is Allah. What is the purpose? Allah made the earth, meh. Number one. فَامْسُ فِي مَنَاقِبِهَا. What does فَامْسُ فِي مَنَاقِبِهَا mean? And walk upon its slopes. That is the picnic verse, son. فَامْسُ فِي مَنَاقِبِهَا is the tourism verse. Meaning the village head built this tourist spot in order to carry out Allah's command in Surah Al-Mulk, verse 15, because if there is a tourist place, people will come so they can فَامْسُ فِي مَنَاقِبِهَا, go for a walk, go for a walk. That is why I tell the bus driver, you work constantly. When do you take a picnic? If you picnic constantly, when do you work? That is why life must be balanced. Sometimes work, sometimes picnic. Sometimes picnic, sometimes work. Because when you go on a picnic, you are actually carrying out Allah's command. That is why I often go abroad because of that, sir. Yesterday I went for Umrah and went straight to Turkey. In Turkey, I was just curious about one city called Bursa. This is a souvenir from a traveler. In the city of Bursa, there is a mosque called Ulu Jami. That is the mosque usually visited by Prophet Khadir, peace be upon him. There's a wall there with the Arabic letter Wa written on it. It turns out that Wa is Prophet Khadir's writing. In front of that wall, writing is usually used as a place for prostration by Prophet Khidir. In the end, I went there, did a pilgrimage there. My intention was a pilgrimage to Prophet Khidir. I prayed at the place of Prophet Khidir. How could I know that? Because of Fam Sufi Manakibiha. That is why being a police officer, a soldier, or a civil servant grants you leave. Because you are not just told to work, you are also told to travel. Police officers, soldiers, civil servants, and village heads usually love to travel to Bali. First, the place is beautiful. Second, the scenery is attractive. Yes. The village head likes Bali because he likes seeing milk whales sunbathing. Because I just came back from the police Raconis Bereskrim event, where the criminal investigation, narcotics, special crimes, and detention directors were all gathered in Bali Akhir. The one asked to give a speech was GUS MIFTAH, so if I give a speech to your village head, it's fine, though the village head might just fall asleep. Village head. May you have a long life, amen. Everyone dies, but the village on? Amen, oh God. Village head is traveling alone. Village head. There's an elephant drinking milk. Village head. I love you. How do you reply to that? Come on. So excuse me, travel actually has its own rules and foundations. If you're at home and getting bored or having problems, you're told to go out and walk around. It turns out the village head created an alternative, not just Gambir Loka, but religious tourism too. I am curious, village head, why is it called religious tourism? Whose tomb is here? Should we bury someone here? Why is it called religious tourism? What is the basis for that? Oh, the tomb of an elder. Because in Indonesia, what is called religious tourism usually involves a saint's tomb. Although I don't agree that visiting a saint's tomb is called tourism. I don't agree.
Yes, I don't.
Because in the NU tradition, the term is ziyarah, pilgrimage, not religious tourism. If this place is to be called religious tourism, then the Hadro kids should perform here once a week. Village head. Whether it's an audience or not, you perform anyway. Even if no one gives you a tip, you still perform. If you get some bananas or something, that's decent enough. The most important thing is, excuse me, this place must be useful. Therefore, excuse me, why are people with an artistic soul considered valuable? Because the goal is for people to be entertained by their art. That's why when I was at the State Palace during the fasting month, I was invited by the president to give a short lecture before breaking the fast with the president, Mr. Prabhu, and the ministers. I said people need entertainment, they need travel. That's why most kings and presidents usually have funny people around them. For example, Harun al-Rashid had a funny comedian named Abu Nawas. How is it not funny to say, I am not worthy of heaven, but I am not strong enough for hell? Which is actually quite cheeky to God. God will surely ask, what do you want, seriously? Not worthy of heaven, not strong enough for hell, so what do you want? Isn't that funny? Abu Nawas once had a neighbor holding a Thanksgiving feast. Abu Nawas was invited. In the Kalihogo tradition, do we sulk or not? Do we sulk or not? If your neighbor holds a feast and you aren't invited, do you usually gossip about it? Gossip, especially those wearing brown hijabs. That's terrible. Turns out, Abu Nawas didn't get angry. As soon as his neighbor held a feast, Abu Nawas was invited. Abu Nawas came out of the house wearing a sash, dancing in front of the host. Hey, what happened in the end? Dust filled the whole house. The host approached Abu Nawas. Hey, Abu Nawas, yes, am I a child or an adult? Well, according to you, an adult. Abu Nawas replied, if I'm an adult, why wasn't I invited to the feast earlier? So don't be easily angered, sir. That's why you need an artistic soul. Abu Nawas was the comedian for Harun al-Rashid. Take Pak Harto. For those of you from the Pak Harto era, Pak Harto had a comedian from Yogyakarta who was often invited. What was his name? Basio. The only president who didn't have a comedian was Gus Dur. Why is that? Gus Dur was funnier than any comedian. How come? Gus Dur once held a meeting with the clerics and it was being monitored by intelligence officers. Gus Dur knew the meeting was being watched by intelligence. What happened in the end? Gus Dur said, "Hayya natakalam bil-lughati al-arabiyya." We don't need to speak in Indonesian, let's just speak in Arabic. In the end, they spoke in Arabic and the intelligence officers were confused. The officers went home and were asked by their commander, what was the result of Gus Dur and the clerics meeting? The officer replied, it's safe, commander. Gus Dur and the clerics were just praying for each other. Knowing Arabic doesn't mean it's a prayer. My Umrah pilgrims in Medina once turned on the TV. Some Arabs were on and they said, Amin, Amin. Once I looked, what was it actually? A report about a rape case. Now, Pak Jokowi is different. He never invites comedians. Who does he invite? GUS MIFTAH. Last year, I was invited by Pak Jokowi 4 times. Why is that? Well, GUS MIFTAH is no less funny than a comedian. Therefore, having funny people around is important. Actually, your face has a comedic talent even now, before you speak. I'm already laughing because your face is funny. Just kidding. Why do people need entertainment? Does that mean if we organize entertainment events, is it allowed in religion or not? The proof is that we are encouraged to travel and go for walks. So if you go to Yogyakarta, visit the palace, Gembira Loka or Manjali, it can be counted as worship. The intention shouldn't be that. The intention should be visiting a cleric. For instance, if people here want to visit the palace, Manjali or Gembira Loka, that's fine. Pardon me, but make your intention to visit a saint. Pardon me, make your intention to study and visit a cleric. So, excuse me, your sightseeing is a bonus because your main intention is visiting a cleric. Visiting a cleric with a bonus of going to the palace or Manjali, sir. If you're a civil servant in Purworejo, I'll promote your tourist spots.
Gong, now it's bitter. Keep talking about that thing. What was it again? Pesek Hill. What?
As soon as I said Pesek Hill, I remembered my wife. Because my wife really is flat-nosed, but she's sweet. Yes. Flat noses are actually quite charming. I tell my wife, don't worry about being flat-nosed, honey. You'll live longer. Your breathing is more efficient. I say that whenever you catch a cold, your boogers are tiny. I tell her those with high bridge noses die sooner. They're wasteful breathers, and when they get a cold, their boogers are huge. I happen to have a high nose, and my wife is flat-nosed, so it balances out. I'm long, and my wife is short. It's fine, I tell my wife calmly, honey, a flat nose is just a high nose that's been delayed. Better than your neighbor, who has a high nose but buck teeth? What an idiot. What else is that, Pesek Hill, sir? Sikepek, what is it? What is inside this kepo?
What is Sikap?
Oh, it's pine tree. But if we go there and it's all crowded, is there a reservoir or not? A reservoir, yes, a reservoir. Excuse me, going on trips is a sunnah. It's even considered mandatory. The command is clear. Famsu fi manakibiha. Just walk around, so men must have a budget for leisure. Don't just pile up money while being stressed. It's just like women. They want their husbands to earn as much as possible, while the women just hoard it. But the secret is, excuse me, once money goes into a woman's hands, does it ever come back? Women love making men work to earn as much as possible. The women just pile it all up. Once the money is with the woman, it will never return. Because a woman's mathematics only consists of addition and multiplication. Not subtraction, let alone division. I mean, not only the husband's money, even the children's money, it's all going to disappear.
Isn't that right?
The kid is crying because their money's gone, held by the mother. Look at the mother, she's so big, oh my God. As wide as a water barrel. If she climbed up there, my stage would collapse. Look at this one crying, this one here, the money. That's the older brother, that's the younger sibling. Too slow? That little kid. Hey, come here, sweetie. Oh my God, crying, but as soon as they see money, they stop. Look at this kid. How can a child be this materialistic? Her mother must have taught her. Hey, which hand are you using to buy things with that money? Don't ask your mother for it. It's never coming back, I'm telling you. The mother's excuse is always give it to mom, mom will keep it safe. It's a fraudulent investment scheme, let me tell you. All the mothers in the back with small kids are getting pinched now. Cry, cry, cry. Blessings be upon the Prophet Muhammad. So it must be planned. Husnut tadbir nisful maisa. Good planning is half of life. I usually go abroad at the end of the year unless I'm preaching. Why? Because the end of the year is my wife's birthday. Every birthday, how do I make my wife happy? Because all year long, I keep leaving her behind. That is why at the end of every year, I make my wife happy. Because on her birthday, I sometimes take her abroad if I have the money. If I don't have the money, sometimes I just take her by the river. Come on, honey, let's cuddle by the river. Yes!
Like that. Not like you, just idling away. It'll be too late.
Go on, it'll be too late, your eyes. It's not too late, it's too withered. Let me tell you, I'll find you someone in Yogya. I'll find you a partner. Love rejected. The red light district is still open. Moving on, are there only travel verses? It turns out no, Mr. Village Head. It's made for culinary. Because the verse says, Wakulu min rizqi, eat from the sustenance that God has provided. That's why in tourist spots there are usually people selling things. Because, excuse me, if you find new verses, it turns out God commands us to travel, and secondly, to snack, to have culinary experiences. So as a man, don't be stingy, don't complain, just take your wife out to eat as much as you can afford. Feed the cat, the cat. That's easy for you to say. But excuse me, treating a woman is difficult. When you ask a woman to eat, what is her answer? Up to you. Come on, dear, let's eat. Eat where? Up to you. Come on, dear, let's eat. Up to you. But once you stop at a meatball stall, she says, why here? Stupid. Stupid. She said up to you, but when you stop, she complains. So here's my question. Why do women always answer up to you when asked where to eat? Because it has a history. What history? Prophet Adam and Eve. Eve and Prophet Adam were in heaven and could have anything except for one thing, eating the holy fruit. Even approaching it was forbidden. But excuse me, of all the fruits in heaven, only the holy fruit was forbidden. But Eve insisted on eating the holy fruit, even though it was prohibited. That is the reason why when women are asked where to eat, the answer is up to you. Because they have experience in choosing the wrong food. They could have chosen coconut, but they asked for the holy fruit. But women cannot be blamed either. Because the law states that women are never wrong. Be careful with women. Women are pilots without certificates. Once a woman gets angry, everything can fly. Let me tell you, Sandals fly, fridges fly, even the TV flies. That's your experience. My wife never gets angry. Don't compare her. Talking about experience. Oh, you fat one, I'll curse you if you keep talking about his wife's experience. My wife is so beautiful and so obedient. I just want to cuddle her. At night, she just says, I'm tired, dear. If she's tired, then what do you want? Just a buffet so you can open it yourself and close it yourself. Okay, I'm off. You still don't understand? Wakulu min rizki. Eat something delicious. Travel and eat. So excuse me, life is boring. So let me tell you a story. My wife and I were on an umrah, pilgrimage, and while at the Rawda, I thought, what else am I living for? What else? What else with another wife? You make me want to punch your mouth. Like that. It's fine, my wife is used to this. Booma knows me well. Men just have dirty mouths like mine. The village head is even worse. He acts all quiet and reserved, but suddenly he has 3 wives. That's normal. Guys with dirty mouths like me are just talkers, class A. Blabbermouths, just running their mouths loudly, like a rickshaw without wheels, just speaking without thinking, like a rickshaw tire without a rim. Talking without using a brain. An elephant wearing a traditional cap, it doesn't fit. Why an elephant wearing a cap like GUS MIFTAH? What's different? What's the difference between GUS MIFTAH and an elephant? It's different. An elephant has a trunk, Gus, and its trunk... Wait, why does that fit?
You don't believe me? Ask my wife. Why does it fit?
How can that be? Don't think about my trunk. Prayers upon the Prophet. Take this religious teaching seriously, because, our happiness is actually something we create ourselves. In fact, Imam Abu Hassan al-Shadhili said that joy must start from where you study la. So, Imam al-Shadhili said if you study with a teacher, and your teacher cannot make you happy, leave him, run away. That is why services at the office, like what the Deputy Regent said, should be made pleasant. With one-stop service, so that processing permits isn't complicated. Is that right or not? Adinu yusrun. Religion is easy. Even religion is made easy. So why is county administration sometimes made difficult? For example, if someone here handles land titles, they should be made easy, but the village head sends them around in circles until their head spins, doesn't he? In the county, making an ID card is made easy, and the police should also make getting a driver's license easy. I don't get the license test. I know the road only turns left and right, but the license test track is like a snake spinning around. What is the point of that? That's why many people fail the driver's license test, because the test is hard. Perhaps even the police themselves wouldn't pass if they took it, let me tell you. That's true, Gus. That's why sometimes when people fail, it's exploited by corrupt police officers approached by them saying, no need to test, I'll help you. How much are you willing to pay? So I support the Chief of Police's policy to ratify and simplify the process of getting a license so it's not made difficult. I said this to the police in Bali the other day. The police are the face of the nation. If the police are good, the country will be good in the eyes of its people.
Yes. Is that right?
Yes, but if the police are bad, the country becomes bad. One bad policeman on the street, and it's President Jokowi who gets blamed. How is Jokowi's government? Why is the police this rotten? One person does wrong, and the whole of Indonesia suffers. So you must be good police officers. Right or wrong? Police these days, thank God, are already good. The trust level in Indonesia is 83%. The only bad ones are the peekaboo police. Turning left at a red light, vroom. Why do police suddenly pop up out of nowhere? Even though, excuse me, aren't there laws regarding traffic violations and such? There are laws. There should be a notification 40 M in advance, but the police just pop up. I once was in Jakarta. Vroom. Yes, I took off my helmet. Like this. GUS MIFTAH, your eyes. I'm just like that too. I didn't use one. Because everything should be made enjoyable, right, Mr. Village Head? If someone needs to take care of something, make it easy. If someone asks about direct cash assistance, BLT, don't get angry. It makes the people suspicious. For example, Mr. Village Head. People suspect the Village Head because of the BLT, right? Right? You think it's the Village Head's fault? Certainly. Sometimes the Village Head has messy data. 700 people need the BLT, but only 500 come from the center. It means only 500 can't get it, 200 won't. In the end, the Village Head distributes it according to policy, and the 200 don't get it. What do they usually say? Damn, I didn't get any because the BLT was given to the Village Head's own relatives.
There are people who have bad thoughts like that. People who say that.
That really is just a bad assumption. I feel sorry for the Village Head. He's so stressed, his mustache has gone completely white. You should go home, find a hoe, and just shave it off. Being a nation and being religious are the same. Make it enjoyable. Just make it fun, sir. That's why I'm grateful to you, Mr. Village Head, for creating this tourist spot to make your people happy. Hopefully it increases your village's income. Who knows? Because of this religious tourism, the village's original income could increase.
Kali? What was I saying?
I'm just running my mouth. Why? Kalian Cook could have a net village income of 10 billion a year. Amen. Like that. Can it be done in 10 minutes? It can. Might as well pray for the whole land. Nothing is impossible for Allah. Right. Isn't that right, man? That's why this is good. But the verse isn't finished yet. You are allowed to be happy on this earth. You are allowed to travel. That's why, on average, Allah's saints loved to travel. If no one traveled, Islam would never have reached the land of Java, right? If people didn't like to travel, it's impossible for Sheikh Subakir to have reached Magalan. Why did Sheikh Subakir reach Magalan? Because he loved to travel, so traveling is important. So let's go on a pilgrimage sometime. Visiting the graves of the saints is important, son. And if necessary, the village head should be invited on the pilgrimage. I mean, he should be invited along. You already have a bus. Why are you being stingy? Charity is according to one's ability. Even if you have a bus, yes, donate the bus. I mean, let people ride the bus. The village head has power, so he should give charity with his power. The police officer has administrative power, so he should secure things administratively. The TNI military is the same regarding the sovereignty of the state. Civil servants are the same. The Ki cleric also has a mouth, so he should give charity with his words. That is why Gusma is chatty. If someone has that many sins, is it the congregation or the Ki? Let us end our lecture. Wow, you were very loud, Ki. It is true that people who have the most sins are those who speak the most. Whereas when a congregation meets a Ki, who talks more, the Ki or the congregation? The Ki. That means the one with the most sins is the Ki. The Ki has many sins because he talks too much. The congregation has many sins because they gossip too much. Who is gossiping? Those over there. Go ahead and have fun, eat culinary delights, and so on. But one thing needs to be remembered. No matter how far you travel, no matter how much you eat, in the end, what is it? And only to him shall you return. No matter how far we picnic, no matter how good the food we eat, we will still return to God. That is why it is right to use a tourist spot for a lecture. Because it reminds us, as if the committee wants to say this, as you are here to have fun, you are here to snack. But remember, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi roji'un, Raihi Hahi has passed away in peace, village head Kali Yakub, for example. Pray for the village head to enter heaven first. Leaving together after Ashram. No, village head. It is already 3:30. I haven't prayed the Dhuhr yet. Have you prayed yet? What time did you leave? How could you have prayed? We were here, village head.
Already prayed.
How could you miss prayer because of a lecture? You will be hit in the mouth by an angel. Let's pray together. I pray that this place becomes busy. Village head, yes, may many people come. May there be much money and blessings for the community. Amen. Allahumma ameen. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. O Allah, send blessings upon our Master Muhammad and the family of our Master Muhammad. And all praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds. O Allah, grant us consistency. O Allah, grant us an increase in knowledge, sustenance, and worship. O Allah, grant us the chance to visit Mecca and Medina. O Allah, grant us good sustenance. O Allah, grant us a peaceful, loving, and merciful family. O Allah, grant us 1,000 strengths. O Allah, grant us 1,000 blessings. Grant us 1,000 miracles. O Allah, keep us among the Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. O Allah, Lord of the worlds, and all praise is due to Allah, Lord of the world. To the village head and the committee, thank you. Peace be upon you, and the mercy and blessings of Allah.